is how I start every episode in October. Wait, hang on. I'm detecting a fourth boo.
Boo.
Oh, whose silky buttery voice is that?
Oh, bootery voice.
Is this even coming out in October?
This is coming out October 18th.
Okay.
Well, what are you talking about? We record this
Day
at
of.
the stroke of midnight
Yeah.
on the day it comes out, and I release it immediately.
I'm literally asking, is today October 18th?
Unedited, it comes out. Yeah, today is October 18th. Yeah, this is, okay. You threw me off with this real world discussion of what day it is. Now,
Sorry.
You've shattered the theater of the mind is gone.
I was ready to do gobble gobble, and you threw a boo boo at me.
No. This is a boo boo. This is a boo boo, not a gobble gobble. Let's just say what this is. This is Candy is Dandy.
Hi.
Candy is dandy.
Candy is dandy.
This is the Candy Review podcast where each week we pick a different candy. We do some candy news. We do the history of the candy. We try the candy. We play the candy game. That's it. This is Halloween. This is October 18th. I swear.
But this week,
We have a very special guest. And
Yes,
it's not
we
just
do.
me, Daniel Zaffron.
no, we have you every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's losing its appeal.
Yeah.
It's not me, Beto Sistos.
It's not me, Greg Gonzalez, and not the Greg Gonzalez from...
Not the good Greg Gonzalez.
Not the other two Greg Gonzalez are way more famous than I am.
Talented one?
Thank you.
We have a very special guest today, and his name is...
Hi, I'm Nadav Fleisher. I love Twix a lot.
What a hero.
We found him on the street. We were in the Twix aisle of the grocery store, and he was there salivating. And we said,
have to talk to
this
this guy."
guy's got to be on the show.
I was housing Twix bars in my body, and they were like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
We have a Twix meter, and when we went near your chest, it started going off.
Yeah.
We're like him.
He was like a human pinata, and we had to beat the Twix out of him to get it. But Nadav is an old comedy friend of yours and mine, Greg.
Yeah.
He is
a comedy brother of ours, one of our good friends, a comedian, one of our favorite people. Improviser.
Yeah,
as
no,
we
that's
will
right.
soon see,
Oh my god!
As we will sue grade.
as
No
we
pressure.
sprung on him right before the show started. But yeah, Nadav is an old friend. The second guest of the show, we've had Carl Tart and Nadav Fleisher.
Good company.
I'm very good company. I feel very, very honored.
But Nadav is, let's just say it, a freak for Twix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a nasty little sicko.
And he likes to do two at a time.
Oh.
Straight up,
He likes it on the left and the right.
straight up. Can I describe my obsession with Twix?
Please.
Like this. Okay. When I was a kid, I don't know if you ever had to sell candy bars at school. I was given a box of Twix to sell door to door, and I did not understand that because I was 7 years old and I just ate them.
Yeah.
And my dad had to buy them. He's like, "You just ate them all?" I was like, "Yeah." And like,
I did what I was supposed to do with candy, the box of
yeah,
candy.
it's like, what is selling? What does that mean?
Also, can you privately fund this trip I have to take with my classmates?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You ate one trip to Washington, D.C.'s worth of Twix bars.
Did you one session eat them all?
No, it was over some
several
time.
days.
Yeah, it was
Okay, yeah.
over several days. I have eaten an entire bag of fun-sized Twix to myself before in the
God.
parking lot of a Rite Aid before I even got home.
We have discovered on this podcast that the fun size is the perfect equivalent of candy because you could just pick at it. Like if I opened Twix, you're obligated to eat it in one session. But if I had 20 little small ones over the course
Yeah.
of 3 days, I could fuck it up.
How many small ones is equivalent? How many full-size Twixes are in a bag of fun-sized Twix?
I think 2 fun size equals 1 stick of regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
Something is general math.
So
Each one of these fun size is like 80 calories, and these 2 regular size cookies are 250.
Oh, wow.
So
calories are. I have no place in this show. We're talking size. We're size queens.
well, in that case,
We're
let
not
me
calorie
look
queens.
at the grams.
Oh, wow. He's doing hard math. I wasn't ready.
Let me get my A Beautiful Mind CGI out.
Oh my God.
That's a call forward to something coming out soon. So we're bowing down to the King of Twix. Let's just
King of Twix.
Just
Yep.
why not call him by his official title, the King of Twix?
Thank you.
We have bells for you. There's a crown he's wearing today. 2 crowns.
What's a title that starts with a T that would go better with two?
Tyrant?
The Tyrant of Twix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was Stalin's nickname also, wasn't it? That's what they called them in
Yep.
Siberia.
I've got to centralize all the caramel shortbread and chocolate production.
Cookies are for the people. So, as we said, this is our Halloween episode. Well, this is
Halloween apples.
Hey, have you ever heard of Halloween apples? That in some parts of Canada, people, instead of saying trick or treat, they go to your door and say Halloween apples.
Like Bob Marley. Like Halloween apples.
Halloween
Every little twig.
It's like Buffalo. It sounds like you're doing Buffalo Soldier.
It's more like One Love, but yeah, it's similar. I could see the similarities. He was Canadian,
Famously.
famously from Alberta.
Is that real?
That's real.
That's
No.
unfortunately real.
In some parts
No
of
way.
Canada, they sing Halloween apples.
Is it like I've heard of caramel apples as a thing you do.
You don't get apples. It's exactly. It is just. It's like Bizarro
It's trick or
World.
treating. Yeah, but they just have a different phrase for trick or treating.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. There's no apples in play.
No.
Well, I mean, we say trick or treat, but how often do we get a trick?
That's true.
So-
that's our obligation to trick. Should there be no treat?
Tell that to my rotten egg collection that I've been growing all year.
the rotten egg tree.
It smells great, but
Doesn't taste as good as it smells. That's a weird thing that we learned about a year ago and haven't stopped thinking about since then. But let's get the show going.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked to Nadav. He's part of the show now, permanent co-host of the show.
yeah, he's been jumped in. Yeah.
So as always, we've got a top of the show.
Top of the show to you. Top of the show.
Okay, so it's good to
Top of the show to
explain
you.
what's happening because I think we might have a few new listeners coming into this episode. So it's good that you're like the rookie cop in the pilot episode of this show.
Yeah.
Like we all know it's happening, but the new listener is going to see it through your eyes or see it through your ears.
Yeah. Yeah. See it through your ears.
So I will explain step by step what is happening. We have a top of the show where we talk about some random candy related thing and he does an Irish accent. So that's what's happening right now. But this top of the show. So in a recent episode, I had brought up that I feel as an acceptable candy treat, a small bowl of chocolate chips from a 5-pound sack
you
from
sicko.
Costco
I remember. Yeah.
is okay as an acceptable candy treat. What do you think about this?
Like to give to trick or treaters.
No.
Like you just put a handful of chocolate chips in their sack.
No.
It's just loose.
You're home alone. You're wearing a robe. You're kind of sad.
I give the trick-or-treaters razors. Yeah, no.
Kinda sad.
No, you're not sad. You've never been happier.
You open a 5-pound bag of chocolate chips.
No.
You put your hand in there and you just
Yeah.
Okay.
into that mouth of yours.
If I'm gonna be honest, I've been kind of doing that lately.
Oh,
I got some chocolate chips for baking, and then if I haven't gone grocery shopping in a while and I don't have other snacks to eat, I'll just like pour a little handful of chocolate chips in my hand and eat it.
It's like listening to a mirror. This is why Nadav is here.
It's not my first choice, but it's something that I will do if I don't have any better options.
Here's the second part of Daniel's thing.
Yeah.
Daniel considers this to be candy.
Yeah.
Huh.
What is chocolate chip if not candy?
And I think he's confusing a candy with a sweet thing.
Yeah.
What is a candy if not a sweet
Oh
thing?
my God.
Here we go. again.
Well, I've got my chocolate chips in like the baking supply section.
Yeah, that's where all the best candy is. Gelatin.
Marshmallows are also there.
See?
Yeah.
And that's candy. I know,
Candy.
right?
Sugar is there. And that's
That's
not
candy.
That's candy blood.
But like, okay, so we'd argue that like Oreos are a candy, right?
Whoa.
No, that's going too far. You, get out of here. You leave.
That's a
Okay.
cookie.
Go back to the Twix aisle that we found you. in.
Reese's are a candy.
Of course.
Because they're sold as such.
What about the mini Reese's pieces or like chopped up Reese's that you can put on cookies?
See, that's a,
You know?
That's a good question.
that's a good point because a Hershey's Kiss is a candy, but a
Yeah.
chocolate chip isn't. And they're almost identical because one is sold as a candy and the other one is a baking supply.
Yeah.
And I think that you have a problem. And I think that
Okay,
some
look,
doctors...
you know, what are we arguing about? I have hard facts
Oh,
here.
my God.
Because when that episode came out, several people reached out to me. Open heart, open
Several credible people.
Several bots reached out to me.
user 777. Russia is my one true love.
Oh no.
They reached out to me and said, yes, what are they talking about, Daniel? You are absolutely
Yeah.
right.
It's okay, Daniel. It's okay.
You're absolutely right. You don't have to do the dishes tonight. And chocolate chips are candy. So then I decided, well, what about, let's put this to a poll, a good old-fashioned poll.
Let the people speak.
And you put it in a national publication? Or
Yeah, it was in the National Enquirer. So I did a poll on Instagram and Reddit. And guess what? We've never gotten more votes
Oh my
on
God.
anything we
Really?
did. We got 860.
Oh my! This is a divisive
862 votes.
That's a good sample size.
Yeah, that is a good sample size. That's like most of America.
topic. We got this, Greg. We got this. All right.
Yeah.
We will not let them prevail.
No, this is
395 people said no.
Oh yeah.
467 said yes, chocolate chips are candy.
That's pretty close, to be honest.
It was
That's
really
pretty
close.
close.
Margin of error.
I need to see how you.
Well, the poll was done in Florida. Exclusively Reddit Florida. r/Florida was really adamant about this.
r/chocolate chip is candy.
r/Daniel's family.
There's hundreds.
There's so many of us. But
I
look,
need to see how you worded it.
Yeah. My stupid
Yeah, my
friends
stupid friends.
Okay,
and I will give $4 for everybody who votes yes on this.
the first 800 people who vote get an Amazon gift card. But you know what? A lot of people did bring up what you said and were like, not as a Halloween candy. And I wanted to comment like, who said anything about this being a Halloween candy? I'm just asking if this
Here's
is
the
candy.
thing. You could totally, if you got like tiny drug-sized Ziploc bags and put chocolate chips in them, that
Oh,
could be
wow.
Halloween candy.
Yeah.
No one
And
would
razor
trust
blades.
it, but
Yeah.
you
No,
could.
that's true.
All the parents would throw it away, but you could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't egg your house.
I think intention. You didn't buy this candy. You didn't buy this as candy.
But isn't
you
that the
bought this
best?
as a baking good, and then it became
Isn't
a
that
snack.
the best candy? The candy that didn't ask to become candy. There is an intention thing, but at the end of the day, it's candy. It's chocolate.
As Mewtwo says in the Pokemon
Oh,
movie,
yes.
we don't choose
Ah, yes.
how we are born and what we are made for, but we can choose how we live our lives. Chocolate chips didn't come into this world knowing what it was gonna be.
When
It is
chocolate
how it
chips
is.
were made in a lab.
Yeah.
And then Mewtwo finished the quote with paralysis. Look, you can't argue with nature.
I'm
And
still gonna
chocolate
fight.
chips are
I'm still
candy.
gonna fight nature.
Oh, you can't
Yeah.
fight nature. But look, we
I'm
got
a scientist in the 21st century. I'm totally going to fight nature.
I did my own research, also on r/Florida. So look, that's settled once and for all. So let's move
my
on to our
God.
next part of the show, which is a little segment
Oh,
called Candy News. Here comes some improv, everybody. Wait up.
Hello, it's me, the Blair Witch.
This is really scary.
Do I have to make up the candy news?
No, I've got candy news.
I don't have anything in front of me.
you're delivering the candy
Yeah,
news.
you're just delivering it. And this is
I'm
all-
the paper boy.
Yeah, you're
you're the paper boy.
I'm floating on my broom with these newspapers wrapped in confectionery sugar.
You know, the scariest part of the Blair Witch Project was her voice.
yeah, I agree.
If you guys excuse me, I'm going to take my microphone and stand in the corner. She's been asking me to do that since she got here. So
Never actually saw the movie. Is it accurate? I have no idea.
Yeah, they took a lot of artistic liberties, as I'm seeing now, meeting you in person, Miss Blair Witch.
I just,
Project.
I'll have you know that they made you look real beautiful.
Good. I try hard.
And how do you get those stick things to look so nice? I'm just throwing the most specific things from the movie at the guy who hasn't seen the movie.
I polish these sticks with my baby blood. I get the babies I kidnapped.
True story.
In Blair Witch 3, I kidnapped 5 babies. Right?
Man, it's like you're reading my script for Blair Witch 3.
Was there a Blair Witch 3? I'm not sure.
There might have been a reboot, but how many Blair Witches have there been?
2 in a reboot.
Obviously only one.
Only me.
Well, do you have some candy news for me? And also, what is it covered in? You said confectionery sugar.
It's covered in sugar.
The witchiest thing. The witchiest form of sugar.
And toads.
Oh, there we go.
That's what okay.
That's the witch.
She's a real witch.
Sugar-covered toads. toads.
Oh,
man.
Gummy toads. Does that count as real witch stuff, or is that gummy witch stuff?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, if you find a toad just in your refrigerator in the baking section,
If you touch a gummy toad for too long, you get gummy warts.
Don't lick them unless you want a good time.
this Blair Witch is down to party. Oh, she's so hot.
Now I'm gonna go climb up the chimney.
Don't forget the spoonful of sugar.
It makes the medicine go down.
Mary Poppins is a Blair Witch?
Times have been tough.
She needs to do nannying to make inflation, am I right?
Does anyone have some kids for me to watch?
Well, now it's time for the official candy news. We got it. It's covered in gummy frog warts and
Lick 'em, lick 'em, lick 'em.
all right. So to explain to you, the rookie cop, and
Yes.
all of our new listeners,
Thanks, that lady was fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, she's wild.
Hot.
but so hot. Can we? I mean,
I think she's still in the chimney. You go after.
I hated to see her go, but I also like to see her stay or come. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's things got a little gross. Okay, so this is when we talk about candy news of the world, and also I title each of the candy news stories.
Unfortunately,
With a
titles-
brilliant,
This one is actually one of the better ones.
ingenious.
If you like science.
Oh,
So
God.
this one's called The Day the Music Triglyceride.
Wow.
Yeah, see,
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
they're
I
witty.
mean,
They are witty.
I mean, sometimes really funny things you don't laugh at.
yeah.
Yeah. You just go like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's a good
Ooh.
one.
I recognize the humor in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One would find that humorous.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll add laugh track. So this story, it's been a long time coming, and it's stale candy news at this point.
Oh.
But this can't not be addressed on this show. On Candy is Dandy, this must be addressed. Way back when, on August 23rd, we lost a legend.
The green M&M die?
Oh no.
No. My favorite.
The curviest one.
Yeah, I like this.
And it was murder. We found half of her body.
She got Black Dahlia.
So we lost the legend, Bob Feldman.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, Bob Feldman.
R.I.P. Bob.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, we all know, but for the people who don't know, the writer of the song I Want Candy died at age 83. I Want Candy, of course, is the unofficial theme song of this show, if copyright law weren't a thing. Released in 1965, sung by the Strangeloves, and went to number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Nice.
Wow.
Later covered in 1982 by Bow Wow Wow, which is the version we all probably think of first.
Yeah.
We all know this. We, of course, also know that Bob Feldman wrote beloved hits we all know from the 60s, such as Don't Monkey with Tarzan and Wow Wow Wee, He's the Boy for Me.
Ooh,
We love these
yeah.
songs.
We should leave Della Rosa at Bob Feldman's grave. With that little flowers on it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'm a thoughtful guy.
But did we also know that this guy wrote My Boyfriend's Back,
Did he?
and he produced the song Hang On Sloopy?
No.
Dang, creative.
My
mind.
boyfriend's back has one of the best lines I've ever heard, which is
My Boyfriend's Back?
my boyfriend's back.
And that makes me really happy.
My boyfriend's back. He's here to save my reputation. If I were you, I'd take a permanent vacation, which is
Wow.
flawless
Damn.
poetry.
Thank you. And as they say in I Want Candy, I want candy.
I want candy.
Up there with what you just said. Now quote, Wow Wow Wee, he's the boy for me.
Wow, wow, wow. He's a boy for me.
He got it wrong. It's Wow Wow Wee.
Wow, wow, wee. He's the boy for me. Is that how it goes? That feels like. That feels right.
It goes, Wow Wow Wee, one love, Buffalo Soldier. Halloween.
He's Canadian?
So Feldman, here's a weird thing. He was actually also the singer in the Strangeloves, which was a band of Feldman and two other, I think, Jewish guys from Brooklyn who wanted to pretend to be British to keep up with the British invasion
You're
going.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But they couldn't pull off British accents, so they said they were Australian instead.
Oh, that's a lie.
That's harder.
That'll buy you time.
But
Interesting.
I think their reasoning was it's 1965. Nobody in America knows what an Australian
Yeah,
sounds like.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee hadn't come out yet.
No, yeah, we
So
didn't know.
We didn't know. We were ignorant.
Yeah, where's that?
That's so funny. Yeah, because the British invasion was huge back then. They were just like, I've been like going into German music history a little bit lately, and there are just like a lot of British invasion cover bands
In Germany?
In Germany,
Really?
yeah. Before like krautrock took off and stuff.
Krautrock.
Oh yeah, krautrock is great.
Is that like garage rock?
It's like German experimental music from the 60s, 70s.
Oh my God.
Like Kraftwerk and Can and
I mean, Krautwerk.
Amundul too. Yeah, right.
I'm even more Germaning than already very German name.
Kraftwerk.
Krautwerk.
Kraftwerk were the original Daft Punk. They pretended to be robots.
They were convinced that they were a calculator, I'm pretty sure.
But robots back then were, it was just like a really nice register at a convenience store.
The computer from Willy Wonka, yeah.
So here's to a legend lost. You were a guy who was tough but sweet. You were so fine, you couldn't be beat.
Oh,
I want heaven for you.
is that on his gravestone?
I want
That's the lyrics of I Want Can.
It's a really tall gravestone.
That's his heart stopping.
That was really nice, Daniel.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Yeah, so that was Candy News. Goodbye, Blair Witch.
Bye-bye. I've been here the whole time.
She's stuck in the chimney.
Help me.
She's making out with Santa Claus.
My fat ass.
Oh, yeah.
We were complimenting that back end, but that back end was her
Yeah.
real end.
I hate to see her go up the chimney, but I like to see her come in the chimney.
Damn,
That's it.
Daniel's a real poet. That gravestone and then that.
That's what it says on my chimney.
You're just a
Come on in.
Come on in. Welcome.
Why is my chimney so slippery?
Santa's not welcome. Okay, so now let's get into the meat of the show. So, Greg, the candy was really chosen by Nadav, but
It
Greg,
was because we were hanging out not too long ago, and you're like, "Hey, I like Twix a lot." And I said, "Hey, please hang out with me on whatever day today is that
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say."
it's October 18th.
Yeah, it's October 18th. I said,
October
"Please hang
18th.
out with me on October 18th, and we'll talk about it." And you're a funny guy, and I like to have you around, so why not put you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
but you did the
honored to be
candy.
here.
I'm going to talk over him. No, he was complimenting us. Say it
I
again.
was just saying I'm honored to be here.
Oh, that was
We're
good.
happy to have you.
I hate to see you come.
But you love to smell it. I'm sorry, I'm gross. I don't know what I'm doing.
Really, children do listen to this show.
Not this one.
Not this one.
So, Greg, tell us the
Hextory of Twixtory? Yeah, tell us a Twixtory. Some of the candy companies we've covered on this podcast have displayed a unity in the family endeavor. Husbands and wives, parents to children, and siblings have gone into business together to create sweet treats for the world to eat. But that's not the story at the center of Twix.
Oh my God.
The cookie caramel chocolate bar sold as a pair is a product of two brothers who could not be part of a sweet duo. This is a story of Earl and Seamus and Twix.
Wait, what? Earl and Seamus?
And Twix.
Okay. Earl and Seamus.
For the
and Twix.
uninitiated, just to sum up real quick, Twix is a long shortbread-like butter cookie covered in caramel and milk chocolate sold in pairs in a gold aluminum wrapper.
Earl and Seamus. Are these hillbillies?
Yeah,
Hey.
they're hillbillies.
Oh, sorry. White trash?
There it is.
So before we dig further into it, this is a story on the website.
Well, before we even dig into that, what's everyone's feelings on Twixes?
Oh, I love Twix.
I love it. Favorite
Obviously.
candy.
Favorite candy. Okay.
Favorite candy.
Favorite candy.
Wow.
I like them. I wouldn't say I'm in love with them, but I like them.
Don't get
They're
your.
a solid candy.
You might not want to wear your heart on your sleeve on this show because when one of us brings in our favorite candy, the other ones always put it down.
That's not true.
My first mistake was bringing my favorite candy in and being like, you guys are going to love it. And rated pretty low that episode.
It
Here's the
happened to all
problem.
of us.
If your favorite candy is bad, it's going to get bad reviews.
So don't bring us bad candy.
I think it's okay to be wrong. So I'm not going to judge y'all.
So that's what's the difference between you and us.
Yeah. You're bringing a whole new energy into the room right now.
See, because Carl Tart picked peach rings and we ate like 12 different types of peach rings. And at the end of it, none of us, even Carl Tart, never wanted to have a peach ring again.
He's just sick of it.
Sick of it and also realized these aren't that good.
No.
Because once you
Damn.
have to like pitch it
In
to
a
other
vacuum.
people and describe what, like there's candy on here I've eaten my whole life and I've never had to think about
Yeah.
the process of eating
Yeah.
it or like the taste that you're hitting. So, there's hurt feelings and stuff and some people won't let stuff go. And
This happened, Butterfinger and Reese's for me was a huge disappointment. on this
Reese's
show.
even?
Reese's even.
Yeah, and that's his
I
favorite.
fuck with Reese's. They're really good.
Yeah, I love Reese's, but we discovered that the little nuggets are the best ones.
Yeah,
Because the ratio
the
to
mini
peanut
cups.
to, the mini cups, the ratio to
Oh,
chocolate to peanut
yeah.
butter was like perfect.
Yeah.
I forgot what our
Interesting.
problem with the butter cups were. I mean, I didn't really
The
have
big
a
cup?
The big cups, you
No,
mean?
not the big cups, the regular
Oh,
ones.
the regular one? It was just a little off.
It was a little off.
a little off. You were crying.
It was still good though.
Yeah.
Peanut butter was kind of dehydrated.
Right.
And there was also a quality control issue. They were all like not
Misshapen.
Right.
peeling.
Right, they all had that weird fingerprint in them.
I really like the Trader Joe's equivalent with like the dark chocolate and the sunflower butter, I think.
Ooh.
So good.
Sugar Showdown.
Buttery, they're really
Yeah.
buttery.
We got to do a whole episode on Trader Joe's.
We should.
For LA Meekly, the history of Trader Joe's. I like Twix also. I'll kind of explain the metaphor I've been crafting for days about Twix when we get to it. Remind me to make a metaphor later.
I was telling Nadav when we were talking about Twix that it's the one candy that makes me feel like I'm eating a bug because there's a soft gooey part, a shell, and then like you hit like the hard spine.
That's
It has
true,
so many
yeah.
textures that it's a lot of
Nice.
fun.
And I remember that because I remember like I've eaten a bug before and you're not wrong.
He was eating a scarab beetle when he walked in here.
My buddy Leo had a bag of like fried
Oh,
crickets,
yeah.
like covered in like seasoning, and I tried a couple and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like crunchy and seasoned and gooey inside.
We'll rate those next. Our Bug's Candy. Nature's Candy.
Okay, so this is the story according to their website, word per word, just taken from their website. Twix wasn't always divided into left and right. Once upon a time, brothers Earl and Seamus were united by an extraordinary idea to combine biscuit, which is cookie in America, caramel, and milk chocolate into one beautiful bar. But even as they developed their big idea, their differences were evident. Both perfectionists, Seamus and Earl, clashed on everything from chocolate pouring technique to caramel consistency. The final straw came at the grand unveiling at their new Twix bar. Tensions reached a breaking point and the bar snapped. So too did the brothers' tempers, and the occasion quickly descended into fisticuffs.
Okay, I'm going to say right now, this is a creepypasta story.
No, it's absolutely fake.
There's no way. It's absolutely
fake.
It's very fake.
Yeah, it's very
okay.
fake. Yeah, this is the story that they've been pitching to
All
people.
right, so I'm right. I'm right. Say it. Everyone say it. Nobody's wrong on this show.
I'll tell you that it was so hard to research this because they kept
so much
throwing
fake
this
news.
story at me. I'm like, okay, so what are the last names? And a day of looking up Earl and Seamus's last names. I'm like, it's fake.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue telling
Yeah, I
their
want to
story.
hear how this fable, this Grimm's fairy tale goes.
Unable to reach an agreement and with neither willing to give way, the brothers had no choice. They had to divide the company. Earl rode away as far as possible to establish his enterprise, but found himself only yards away from Seamus's chosen plot. Each designed a unique building to house his factory, and each sneered at the mediocrity of the factory opposite.
See, now that I know it's fake, I enjoy this.
You're having a
story.
lot more fun now?
I want to chime in for a second
Yeah.
because I was just reading the same story from their website in the green room earlier, and there's a picture
We do have a green room here.
of the left Twix factory and the right Twix factory across the street from each other, and it's very funny.
They share a gate. They had commercials too, which I watched yesterday. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had this campaign going for
Yeah.
them.
I knew of this left-right thing. I didn't know there was such a backstory to
Yeah,
it.
they really built like a
It was very
tale.
developed.
This
Yeah.
like Butterfinger and Snickers try to be what this seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
in
say
terms
that.
of marketing.
They don't have the Simpsons on their side, so
That's
it's
true.
hard.
They've got Family Guy.
The two took distinctly different approaches to the manufacture of chocolate, finally able to do it their own way. Left Twix became a crunchy biscuit base upon which caramel was flowed before being bathed in chocolate. Meanwhile, right Twix was a cascade of caramel on a crisp biscuit base cloaked in chocolate. They're just different ways of saying it. Seamus and Earl were destined to never reconcile, and although a handful of rappers from their time as partners still remain to this day, never again would a left and a right Twix sit side by side.
Wow.
So there's this whole thing, and there was a time in my life for like 15 minutes where I actually had to ask Melissa, so what's the difference between a left and right Twix? Because the marketing campaign, they're so
so
adamant.
good.
Yeah.
They're so adamant about like, you want a left or a right? Like I started thinking like, well, I want to try both of them. So it worked for 15 minutes.
Yeah. It'll get you eating a bunch of Twix, being like, I did it wrong. I got to eat it again.
couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, I
I
couldn't
gotta
tell the
get
difference.
another
Yeah.
one.
This, of course, is fiction. What? This fabrication was invented because the actual story of Twix is quite boring. It was an invention of Forrest Mars, the son of the man behind the Mars Company, which opened in 1932. Forrest went off and started his own company, which would put the first Mars bars out, which, of course, did Snickers. Is one of the most famous candy companies out there.
His
It's like
dad did this.
He did. this?
Because I think Snickers come out in the 20s.
Oh, then maybe he started his own company, like an attachment of Mars, and did put out the Mars bar.
Much like the fake second Twix factory.
Yeah. It's actually father and son. Yeah. Twix was first produced in the town of Slough, England, by our old friend, the Mars Corporation, 1967.
Well, this is an English candy?
Yeah.
What
Biscuit.
the hell?
Yeah, biscuit.
Biscuit. The
Biscuit.
Bloody hell.
That's a good Australian accent.
You call this a noise?
Crikey.
It originally sold under the name Raider. The idea of a chocolate.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I feel like Raider's a term that's much more British.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Sure.
That famous British movie.
A famous British adventurer.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders,
famous British
English.
football team.
Definitely culturally relevant in England in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
One of their favorite things.
They're walking out of a.
But in America, we love Twixing.
The idea, it seemed like the idea of a chocolate covered biscuit was something, I did quotations, was something that sounded very exciting to British people. If I've ever heard something, like an untrue cultural stereotype, that they love their biscuits with their tea.
So this is the son of Mars who moved to England and made his own candy thing.
I think
And this
that
is one
isn't
of it.
Mars English?
No, Mars was American.
Mars
Well,
is
the Mars
American?
candy bar, but the Mars company is American.
Is it?
Yeah, the Snickers.
I thought Snickers was
America's
British.
candy. What?
I remember there being
You
like
stupid.
British equivalents with different names.
Mars is what they call, I think, a Milky Way
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
in England.
I thought a Snicker was like a game they play like snooker.
No,
Like
Snickers.
in England, it's like a
Snickers-
play on that. So it's like English.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, isn't that the
Have
game?
a snooker. Eat a snicker while you play some snooker.
That has a great Australian accent. Also.
Thank you.
Australian as way of New York.
I'm snooking here. I mean, we can create a fake backstory for anything,
Sure,
apparently.
sure, yeah,
but
yeah.
Snickers was the name of their very American horse that they named the candy bar after.
Oh, horses are only American.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stupid.
horses.
They have unicorns in Britain.
They're donkeys over there.
It looks like this is the top of the show. We need to get our facts
We
straight.
need-
Yeah, we'll get a fact check.
Yeah, we'll get our facts straight.
Raider was introduced
Not
to,
in the fact part of the show, in another part of another show.
Yeah.
We'll get the facts straight.
but it's top heavy. The next episode will be top heavy. Raider was introduced to the States in 1979. I'm not sure when it took on its name change, whether upon arrival at Ellis Island or when it gets its first surge in popularity, but they changed the name from Raider, which doesn't mean much in America, to a fusion of the two words, twin and sticks, to form the
Oh,
word.
that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Twin
That
sticks.
makes sense.
Wow.
Okay.
He told me that, and I'm like, I'll remember that forever. Then I read it while doing research. Like, oh, what?
Can't wait to tell Nadav.
Sticks with an X, so it's edgy.
It's edgy.
Yeah.
You can skateboard on this thing.
Generation Twix.
They saw the 90s before it happened.
That's a great fact.
Yeah, well,
That's all I have to say.
I read it on the internet. I heard it from a friend, then I read it on the internet. In the U.S., Twix's slogan was chocolate, caramel, and a surprising cookie crunch, which does...
Good. I'm glad they got the biscuit out of it.
Yeah.
No, it does not say it on here, but it
No.
uses
Mine
to say
says
it on here.
crunchy cookie, delicious
Delicious
caramel,
caramel,
two cookie bars.
I didn't until I was doing research, I'm like, oh yeah, it is a cookie, huh?
And also,
Mine says this unit not labeled for retail sale.
that's an old British saying. On my bar, because you and I, Greg, have the full size.
Yeah.
In the O of the Twix, there are two Twix bars.
The O.
Oh yeah.
The
yeah, it
O
does say
above the O above the I.
Yeah.
How do you spell Twix?
The Twix.
I spell it the British way, where they add O's and U's to everything. But yeah, it has
a
two
little
Twix
pause?
bars in it. Yeah, a pause sign.
Yeah, isn't like a Twix break? Take a break.
Take a break.
With Twix break.
the
Pause for a Twix break or something like that was another
Was it?
marketing
Was it?
campaign, wasn't it?
Or was that Kit Kat?
If not, it should be. It could also work as Kit Kat, but
Or
this
maybe
works
I'm
better.
confusing my Kit Kat and Twix.
Whoever came up with that is great.
Yeah.
It looks like a pause symbol
It
in
does.
the O.
Yeah.
That's my
Does,
point.
you're right.
So talking about the slogan and how it alludes to the texture, this candy has a lot going for it. The soft of the chocolate, the gooey of the caramel, and the crunch of the cookie all work really well together, in my opinion.
I think we all agree that it's pretty good. Some might agree more
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
No one in the U.S. in the 80s thought much of Twix, and stales stagnated. And it wasn't until 1983 that they found footing with the peanut butter Twix, which I couldn't find. You said you've seen it in
Whoa.
stores
I've seen it in
before.
several stores, but I've never tried
I've
it.
never
Yeah,
seen
I've never seen it before, and it's like a red packaging or purple packaging or
Yeah,
something like
what's
that.
the-
Different
hell?
colored packaging.
Yeah.
Never. I've seen the cookie dough that they have right now.
Oh right, yeah, that's a famous
been more
one.
common lately.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I thought it was like a limited thing, but it's like almost more common than a regular Twix now. But I've never seen this peanut butter.
So instead of the caramel, it's peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
I know. That's got you written all over it.
yeah. take out my least favorite part of this, put my favorite thing in it.
I tried buying some earlier in the week when I was doing research, and like the
peanut butter one?
Yeah, peanut butter one. Twix website doesn't have them. If you search it on Google, it'll send you to Amazon. When you get to the site, it's like all the other candies. And then other candy websites I was trying to buy it on, every time I'd click on it, I'd get an error message for like 2 different websites. So I kind of think it's a ghost. It's a ghost candy.
Are you trying to pull a fast one on us, Nadav?
No, I can't say that I've seen it lately, but I used to see them a lot.
I saw it in Canada.
Through the years, they've experimented with different varieties of They've experimented with different varieties of Twix. With like we were talking, they have cookies and cream, dark chocolate, white chocolate, fudge, cappuccino, Java, mint, triple chocolate, and orange flavor.
That's disgusting. But Greg, you misspoke. That gave me a good idea for a new marketing campaign because you said Twitch instead of Twix.
Yeah.
They should be with Twitch. And you need to pause the game.
Yeah, pause the game for a Twix break.
Or
Twix.
They can do one that's like an Alka-Seltzer one, and you start foaming at the mouth and doing like a fake Twitch. And everyone calls you offensive.
Yeah.
If you ever have to fake your own death.
Try to get out of a sticky situation. Give me one of those Alka-Seltzer Twix. In 2007, Mars got into a little bit of trouble when it was discovered that they were using animal renin, which is like enzymes produced in the stomach of animals, in the place of whey in candy bars.
Whoa.
And then they got in trouble. People were protesting and they said, okay, well, we'll stop doing that. But the following year, they retested it and they were still using it, just less of it. And they had to be like, yeah, we're still using it. I know we said we'd stop, but we're still doing it.
They got in trouble because we shouldn't be consuming that, or people wanted it to be vegan, vegetarian?
They probably didn't know it didn't have meat product in it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I think that they were saying that they were using whey, but it was really animal renin.
They lied. They lied.
Okay,
Say it.
They got in trouble because they lied.
Is this kosher?
Will my rabbi get mad at me if I eat this?
Leave my rabbi out of this.
Your rabbi's always mad at you, all right?
It does not say that's like what it's rennet, isn't it?
Oh, is it rennet?
Because that's like what a lot of cheeses to like hold cheeses together. They use animal. It's like it's like intestine lining,
like cheese glue.
Cheese glue,
which is kind of cheese already.
So Twix is made in.
It says kosher. It's kosher. My rabbi.
Nice. You can eat it.
My rabbi will not be upset with me.
Twix is made in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oh,
it takes about 25 minutes to make one bar.
Wait a minute. There's a Cleveland in Tennessee.
That's what I saw, and I saw a video like the making of it, and it was with Mark Summers, and they're like, they make this one in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm like, okay, like I don't care if it's in Ohio or Tennessee. Neither Cleveland I want to go to. They start by mixing up the Mars top secret cookie dough. Which is the dough of the cookie. Obviously, got it. The dough then gets pressed into a die that molds the shape of the cookies. The press and the rollers that move the cookie dough through, they're made of brass, the rollers, so they polish dough as they go through. The cookie sheet is then moved into the oven. It's a really long oven. It's over like 100 feet long.
Wow.
And it's to just keep it moving as it bakes, as it belts through, so it comes out crispy.
You're telling me that there is how many feet did you say?
Over 100 feet.
So there is 100-foot long Twix out there?
No, it's the cookies
it's a cookie.
are cooking in an oven.
But you could theoretically make
you
one.
could make it's like the party subs. You could get a party Twix.
We can only serve this to parties of over 10 people.
But you know what's interesting? Since this is a Mars product, at the end of the day, you can feel the signature Mars ridges.
Conveyor belt.
The top, the veins on top of it.
The veins.
We'll have to look to see if it has the conveyor belt on the bottom.
It does. I've seen. I ate one earlier this week. It does. I got
Keep doing that, Greg.
I have to know.
You come in fresh.
Do I like this? It's just me eating candy like an adult. It's like, do I like this? Do I like what memories come to me when I eat this Reese's Buttercup? Once the crispy cookie sheets are out, they get covered in their first layer of milk chocolate. Then the piping hot caramel is layered on top of that, and then coated once more in chocolate.
I guess that keeps the cookie from getting soggy, maybe, with the caramel.
It must be.
I didn't know that it had 2 layers of chocolate, but that's what they were saying in the video.
I like that.
Let's see if we can find it.
Because they are very crisp.
Yeah, they are. The caramel is also like constantly moving. It has to be kept at 150-degree temperature.
Yeah.
So it's just like a drum that just keeps moving caramel, which I'm like
cement.
Yeah, like a cement truck. How many people fall in that every year?
Oh, sorry. Before they put the final layer of chocolate on it, after the caramel is added, they put chocolate, and then it gets cut down into size, which is another of the secret processes which is like how it gets
so
cut
then
down.
there is a party sub version.
I guess
of
there
it.
is, yeah. Well, but it's not the. It's
you
like
can intercept
halfway
it.
there. Yeah, if you could intercept it, if you have your mouth open at the right part of the assembly line, and then finally they get the final milk chocolate coating on top. The Twix bar, or as with all Mars bars, the final thing is they're giving the signature wavy lines on the top of the bar.
I jumped the gun.
To do this with they use a mixture of vibration from the belt and then air. They're also wrapped.
okay.
They also wrapped via assembly line. They showed that process in the video too. And over 3,000 Twix bars are wrapped every minute.
Oh my God.
Let's count that out. In 2012, Twix began running a campaign that we all know based on the Earl and Seamus story, planning the idea that there's a small difference between the left Twix bar and the right one.
Who would fall for that?
For 15 minutes.
Yeah. Who would take this to their wife?
For 16 minutes.
I think that worked on me for like one Twix bar. I was like, are they different? And I ate one. I was like, no, they're exactly the same.
My taste buds are so stupid that it would take like 4 of them to be like, I think they're the same.
Earl and Seamus were wrong. Did you rip down your Earl and Seamus posters on your wall?
Of course, the call to action on this was to try both the right one and the left one and buy as much as possible, as if this country wasn't already at a cultural war between the right and the left of everything. They want to try to divide us here.
I'm more of a moderate Twix.
For those who need to know which bar to identify with in correspondence to the stars and birth dates, Twix right horoscopes are Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo.
What the
Twix
fuck?
left horoscopes are Gemini, Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, and Libra, as listed on their website.
Wait, that's the right one? Or the left?
That was the left one.
I'm a right Twix guy.
I'm a left Twix.
So stupid.
The website spends a lot of time trying to divide, like, are you a right one or a left one?
Have you not seen these in the ancient Chinese zodiac? There's monkey, dragon, Twix.
The company says the difference between the two bars is as such. Left Twix is smooth caramel on top of crunchy cookie, then covered in creamy chocolate. Right Twix is chewy caramel on top of crisp cookie covered in velvety chocolate, which are just plug words. They're just like hot button words.
Yeah.
Is there a fucking quiz on the website you can take to figure out which Twix bar you are? My God.
It takes 6 full minutes to go through that quiz.
I'm a Miranda Twix.
The joke obviously is that there's no difference. There's even a Reddit thread from 6 years ago after the campaign started asking if there truly was a difference. And there are some people who insist.
Who would start such a thread?
Who would devote time to this sort of thing?
On r/Florida, the only Reddit I go to.
There's a 20-page long thread on the bodybuilding forums.
There are some people who insist the difference is
Here we go.
the left Twix starts as a cookie, then it's covered in caramel and then dipped in chocolate. And the right one starts as a cookie, then someone carefully pushes the cookie inside, uses caramel to prevent the cookie from crumbling. One clue to this campaign being nonsense is the fact that there is no way to tell which one is the left one and which was in the right one, because the package, they're sold horizontally, top to bottom, not vertically left to right.
Yeah.
So there is no left to
Top
right.
Twix, bottom Twix. But
I got the fun pack and they label the fun size left and right.
I think for a while they were doing that with the regular packaging too.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I think sometimes they were selling like you could get a regular 2 Twix thing, and they would say, oh, these are both left Twixes, or these are both right Twixes.
Right, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Like the mania of this campaign is
it's very Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It is.
It's very
It's
much
fun.
like
It's just playing
fun.
on the like weird human need to categorize yourself.
yes, you're right. Yeah, especially with this horoscope thing. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I am a Twix right. You're right. I've always thought myself as
I'm
one.
crunchy.
All I know is I'm going to eat about 2 tons to investigate if there really is a difference between the two. Twix doesn't just stop at regular bars, as we know. We were talking about it earlier, but they have cookie dough bars, Twix salted caramel, Twix minis, Twix dulce de leche brownies, and there's
I don't
also
like that.
Twix ice cream, both buckets and bars.
Twix buckets.
Buckets, like a bucket of ice cream.
It's not a bucket. It's like a pint.
It's a pint, sure. But what do they serve that pint in? A bucket?
Yeah. Are you a pint or a bucket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Nadav has anything else to add to that?
When I was
the games
reading
begin.
a little bit, there was a picture on a article about the history of Twix that showed Twix in a coffee cup, like full of coffee, and that
wow.
I've never had
That sounds
Twix
pretty
with
good.
coffee.
Like to
and
stir?
I'm so
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like a Biscoff cookie.
Yeah, and that you're talking about the factory thing, and I was just like, I wonder what a warm Twix is like.
Probably bad.
It might be. I don't know, but I kind of want to try.
Yeah, I
kind of
want to try it
or something.
I would imagine you'd have to expect most of it to melt into your coffee if you're doing that.
Yeah, but is that bad?
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
I wonder if that's part of the gimmick because they wanted like the biscuits and tea is the thing in England.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because it was initially an English thing. If it's chocolate covered cookie, you dip it in chocolate, the chocolate melts away, and then you still have the cookie or whatever. But they don't drink coffee over
But then
there.
you have a soggy cookie.
And
I mean, you dip your cookies in milk.
And that's kind of good.
Like Indiana Jones in your hand. Go back to the Raiders. Raiders of the Lost Ark right in your
Those
hand
are
and
two
just
words,
melts away.
yeah, you're right. Those words are associated. You're right.
Melting Raiders.
People melt at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Okay, so let's examine this package because how do we feel about this shiny brown?
Tiny brown. It's
you
a
mean
gold.
Gold?
Yeah. Shiny
Shiny
brown.
brown.
Shiny brown.
My favorite child detective, Shiny Brown.
When I came to this country, I was told the streets were paved with shiny brown.
yeah.
The old
Is this gold?
1849 shiny brown rush.
It's probably like a brass leaning gold, but it's definitely a gold.
I mean, that was always the stain with the Spanish. It was shiny brown, God, and guns. That's what they're after, yeah.
Is this another left Twix, right Twix you're pulling on me and you're trying to convince me that this is gold?
Shiny brown. If I took this to a pawnbroker right now, he wouldn't give me money for this.
How much for your shiny brown? An ounce of your finest shiny brown. Does this appeal to you, this packaging? It's a little...
It's pretty.
It blends it. It kind of like... It doesn't pop to me, really.
Whoa.
What colors would pop to you?
Purple.
It's literally popping.
Yeah.
It's reflecting light.
It is, but like...
There's a big beam of light in his eyes, and he's like, no, not that one. Another one.
But like a Butterfinger, blue and yellow. Like it's not...
Okay,
it's
contrast
very earthy.
wise.
It's
Yeah,
very,
I see what
it's
you're saying.
earth tone.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, but I think it's also a lot of nostalgia for me. So it's so recognizable
yeah.
that I'm just like, oh yeah, it's Twix.
Yeah. It's always going to look like
I'm
that.
not saying I don't like it.
Is this the only one that has the shiny brown packaging?
Hey, you say gold, sir.
In this house, we say gold.
You are right, Twix, all right?
You're being a real right Twix right now.
I think there was something about how shiny it is that's nice.
Yeah, I like
mean,
that.
shiny brown.
Is there another shiny brown candy wrapper?
I can't think of one.
Look, I'm thinking of like an Airheads wrapper, which are shiny like this, but the color is so bright.
Yeah.
The Three Musketeers is like kind of silvery.
Yeah, but that I think the blue.
The value is less because it's silver, not gold. Yeah.
in today's economy,
Yeah. What were we saying? Sorry.
shiny white compared to shiny brown. I think the blue of the Three Musketeers, I think there's blue and red in the Three Musketeers, and that kind of pops more. Like if this red was a little brighter red, it might catch my eye a little bit more.
But I feel like there's because it's chocolate inside and chocolate is a dark brown. There's a real elegance to both the candy and how it complements the packaging and just the packaging to itself of the white, the red, and the
I think
brown.
it's coasting a little bit on its reputation.
On a sort of fake elegance.
I think in a sea of super bright colors, this is a nice change.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's retro to like a sad time.
This country used to mean something, and this country being England,
Back when we were rating left,
taxing whoever we wanted.
rating left, rating right meant a different thing back then. So I'm going to go, Greg, for us who don't have I guess you do have the left and right labeled. I'm going to, from the top down, I'm going to say to the left is the left Twix. So do we want to start with a left or right Twix?
Sorry. T up, X down.
T up, X down.
That's how I like
Yeah,
them.
that's how I like my babes. Yeah.
So do we want to do left or right Twix? What do you think, Nadav? What do you want to do
My
first?
Twix is like a little smushed and fucked up.
Oh no.
Let's see. It
Look
opens.
at these.
Mine's split right
Oh,
down the
yeah,
middle.
a little squish.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
mine are all smushed.
I'm the only one who doesn't have a full-size Twix.
Looks like they were left in someone's car for a minute.
Oh no, in a tote bag in someone's car for too long. It looks like if the alien from The Thing saw a Twix and was like, I could do that. That's what yours looks like. Halfway through.
How thick is yours, Beto?
Let's compare.
Put it on the table. Flop it on the table.
Let's see size wise the difference
Yeah.
between them.
We usually don't do Twix measuring contests here.
Oh, it's about the same. Yours
It's full of chimney juice.
it's the same. Yours looks a little lighter.
And it's a little more than half.
It is. So, well, we're gonna have to redo our calculations. But I am holding a left Twix right now.
Okay.
It smells very good. Actually, you know what? It smells like a Three Musketeers.
Smell
Also
it,
a Mars product.
smell it like
It
somebody.
smells very nice.
Yeah.
Like a cigar.
Yeah, like a cigar. Yeah,
The Porta Poblano.
Oh, yeah.
somebody with a Swiss bank account smelling a cigar.
That's a good smell.
It is a good. That chocolate's so rich.
Mine is not melted. Mine was not left in
Mine's
Greg's
not
car.
melted either.
So we're starting with a left Twix. It smells great.
Oh, you get the
It has the markings on the bottom.
Yep.
They are there.
the Mars conveyor, the Wonder Woman Mars
The
conveyor.
Wonder
belt.
Woman markings and the unmentionable veins on the
Oh, I
top.
love the veins.
So let's try our left Twix now. Nadav has eaten half of it. So we are.
In the true Greg fashion.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I think I see the layer of chocolate between the cookie and the caramel.
I see it. Yeah, I definitely see it.
I would like to ask y'all to try
Do I?
something
Maybe not.
for the next bite. When I was a kid, the way I like to eat Twix is I would eat one of them full like a normal person, and then the other one I would eat almost Oreo style, where I would bite the caramel off and eat the caramel and then eat the cookie.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
And I have something to say about that after we try it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Caramel first.
Let's do caramel first.
Mm.
Oh,
Who makes Rolos? That's what this turned into.
yes.
Oh my
It
god.
did turn into a Rolo.
Mm-hmm.
That caramel's so
You
good.
can have Rolos and you can have Twix if you buy Twix.
Yeah, you're right. If you bring your own cookie, you can make your own Twix.
That's why they call it Twix. I don't think I see the layer of chocolate.
Now that I did that, I don't think I see it either.
It's hard
I
to
think
tell.
it's there, but it like goes into the cookie because there's
yeah.
those little holes in the cookie, and I think it all kind of seeps in there.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
What were you going to say about that?
So, on the Bon Appetit YouTube page, there's a series where this baker Claire will make gourmet versions
Oh,
of candy,
yeah.
and she did one of Twix, and she described it in a way I thought was interesting, where she said the chocolate, the caramel, and the cookie are individually not great, but put together, it's somehow very good, and it's like a candy that's greater, that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts,
Like Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was a very cool way to put it. So knowing that, like, I don't really eat the caramel by itself very much anymore because like the caramel is good, the cookie is whatever, but the caramel balances out, like elevates the cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cookie balances out the sweetness from the caramel.
I think every element complements so well the other two.
They do work well together. Okay, let's go into the right Twix.
The right Twix.
The right Twix.
The correct Twix.
I made sure to get a good caramel pull on that one.
Yeah, the caramel does pull really nicely.
I think there's something to do with keeping it at that high heat keeps the caramel soft, I bet.
It is you know what really stands out the most to me is the biscuit, quote unquote.
How they keep
it's
it crunchy.
so crispy and crunchy
Yeah.
and light. And
Yeah.
that kind of is my favorite part is the crunch of this. But yeah, the flavor, I mean, honestly, it kind of tastes like other Mars candies.
It does. It's very similar.
It's very similar.
I'm sure
just
it's the same caramel they use
and
in
chocolate.
all.
The same chocolate.
The
Yeah.
same chocolate. The cookie is a defining feature.
It's pretty milky, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
making me very thirsty.
I feel like I just got fed by mama.
Oh my God.
You know what? To be honest, the right one kind
Oh my
of felt
God.
there
Softer?
was like a more fluffiness, like a fluffier caramel aspect to it. I swear to God,
The cookie was more crumbly to me.
I kind of like the right Twix better.
Damn right you do.
I can't trust mine because mine was smushed. I think they're probably the same.
No. I'm gonna ask Melissa. She'll tell me if they're different.
Yeah, she'll be honest with me. When has she ever lied to me?
Never.
Yeah.
I feel like you're implying that she's lied to you.
I was hoping I could fish something out of him.
Has she lied to you?
She's with her trainer right now. Not lying to me.
We gonna try these goo.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
so Nadav, you brought the special treat for Halloween, the ghoulish green Twix. So let's see
The
green packaging.
is the green packaging more?
Now this catches my eye. The green.
Yeah,
The chocolate's not green.
the chocolate is not green.
It's got to be inside.
So the caramel's green?
No,
Or
the
cookie
cookie
is
is green.
The cookie's green.
Yeah.
The cookie?
Oh, so the cookie's green.
To be honest, I got these yesterday and I had like 3, and I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't completely green.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not easy being green.
What
I've
are
heard.
they-
I've heard on Reddit.
On Reddit. What do they call the Krabby Patties that are colorful?
oh, man. I don't
Rainbow
know.
patty?
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's green.
Smells the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is very green, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah, the cookie's
It
harder.
is.
Is it a little more dry?
Maybe.
I
might
think
be.
it's tougher. Because of the green, probably.
Yeah, because it's not easy chewing green.
So I hear.
The caramel is definitely not as soft.
It isn't.
No.
It's a little chewier.
Yeah.
It's chewier, and I almost feel like there's more of a biscuit flavor rather than like the neutral biscuit, which was my punk band.
Neutral Biscuit Motel.
Neutral Biscuit Hotel. Wait, were they hotel or motel?
They were hotel.
Okay. I reversed your joke.
Damn, Uno reverse. Counter joke.
The chocolate also doesn't melt the same way it does on a
No.
regular
All
Twix.
of it is like
It's very
compacted.
Yeah.
compacted, dry.
It's not bad, but it's not as good as the original.
No.
When I had it yesterday, I was just like, oh, this just tastes like Twix. But after eating it right after having a normal Twix, it's definitely not. It's like a less good Twix. It's just
When you're on this stage, everything tastes different to you. Like I can still, there's still like I feel like there's an aftertaste to the biscuit, almost like a Pringle almost.
What?
That biscuit was so grainy.
interesting. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
It had almost like a savory flavor in the biscuit.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's green because it's vegetables.
It's animal guts.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit I've said. Sorry.
Is this good for me?
How many cucumbers does it have in here?
Okay, so now let's talk about where did you get yours, where we all got ours, and how much were they? So let's start with you.
I got
Greg.
mine at Target. According to the Target app, they were $2.19
For the Twix?
for the Twix. Yeah,
For the Twix? For the normal.
For the Twix?
for a normal bar. Yeah, I mean that's what
Wow.
it says on here. Maybe I'm looking in it wrong.
Because I also got mine at Target, and I thought it was $129, but maybe it might have been $219.
We all went to
actually.
Target.
we
That's
Slaves
crazy.
to Target.
Oh, I'm looking at the share size.
We love big corporations on this show.
$139.
$139.
$139, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that sounds right.
about right.
I went to Ralph's.
Ralph's.
And I didn't get the normal Twix bar. I got the 6-pack of the fun size Twix.
Yeah.
And I paid $1.99.
That's a
So I think I got
you
the
overpaid.
better deal.
Wait, no, because you got in yours there was about
What, how
two and a half.
There were 6.
There were 6 of them, and one
but
was
like equivalent to a.
yeah, one was a little over half of yours.
So you got like 1.5 Twix.
I guess I did overpay because you paid $129,
$139
$139. So I paid 60 more cents for maybe
for a half of a Twix.
Yes.
What about you? Because you provided the ghoulish greens. Ooh,
Yeah, I got some biscuit in my throat. Hold on.
these unprofessional people that we find in the Twix aisle.
That's an old phrase for being nervous. I got a little biscuit in my throat.
The ghoulish green, I forget how much it was, but Greg looked it up and I think it was like $6
Like
or so.
$6.49 or something, yeah.
How many bars did you get?
Let's
like
see.
there's a lot in there.
I don't remember. Let's see. There are 18 fun
okay.
size bars
All right.
in there.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
Twix.
Also, I just took a bite of one of the regular fun size ones. And
Yeah.
I think here's the thing. It's sort of in between the green one and the regular one. And I think the regular one that was left in the car and a little melty, I think it actually made it better.
Oh, really interesting.
Because it was softer, like the caramel was softer, and
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, it probably would be really good in like a coffee or tea.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
If this coffee was hot, I would have done it here.
Greg drives a Ford T, right? Oh no, it's a Model T.
You drive a 4T, right? No, I drive an 80. Yeah, you like that? You like that?
There's a lot of almost funny jokes flying around right now.
It's more of a written joke, I guess.
Okay, so speaking of written, let's write down
right.
so we don't influence each other. So now, Nadav, the rookie cop, we are going to write down our review of this out of 0 to 5 cavities, 5 being the greatest. What would
Shit.
you give Twix? And we write it down because we found that we kept influence each other. It's like if everyone else gave it a bad score, you'd bring your score down. So we write it down and
Yeah.
lock it in beforehand.
I already wrote 10 out of 10, and I think I fucked that up. 'cause
Divide that
there's-
by 2. Okay, it's a
5
little
out of-
tricky. I'm writing my score, and I'm writing next to it, give metaphor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's giving metaphor. She serves metaphor.
She gives... I give simile. It's like I give simile. Okay, so Greg, let's start with you. We're going to the left of Nadav, the Tyrant of Twix.
Delicious candy. we were talking about how all the elements complement each other so perfectly. Eating it right now, sometimes we'll eat something and we'll discover that we like the fun size more because it's such compacted. This was the first time like I prefer a full bar to a fun size. I'm gonna give it a 4.25.
Wow.
Four and a quarter.
God, you're just trying to impress Nadav.
Did it work? It did make me very thirsty though, and I can't see eating too much of them.
No.
Like a bar is just enough. Anything past that would be too much.
So you don't even want the left and the right. You just want the left or the right.
I want both left and right.
Oh, okay.
I want all.
I want it all.
Yeah, I want it all.
Left, right, and center. Yeah. I think because of the biscuit, it does make it more eatable.
Yeah.
Not edible,
Yeah.
eatable. Like it breaks up the sweetness and it keeps you going, which is why I think.
And the texture change. Yeah.
I agree. A whole thing. I could eat a whole thing easily. What about you, Beto?
It's a solid candy. I'm not super into chocolate. In fact, this chocolate's kind of junky.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's going to break your heart if you bring in your favorite candy here.
Okay. I think the caramel and the cookie are the stars of the show, the cookie being the main attraction.
Yeah.
It's so different than what you find out there, and it has a really nice crunch to it that adds a lot of texture to the candy. It's a middle of the road candy, but a little better. I gave it a 2.6.
Okay.
Interesting.
Painful.
That's pretty harsh, but I also understand your perspective. If you're not a chocolate guy,
Yeah.
this chocolate, like I was saying, the ingredients in and of themselves aren't
Exactly.
like amazing. So if you're not a chocolate guy, this isn't like super good chocolate.
He loves biscuits.
I get
He
it.
loves dry ass biscuits, though.
He's British like
The
that.
drier, the better.
Yeah.
The drier, the better. What a enlightened, accepting perspective you bring on when someone doesn't give what you love a 5, because that is not how things went when it was just the three of us.
You just are very combative, Daniel, about the
Yeah.
things
What are
you
you
love.
talking about?
He was wearing a Reese's peanut butter shirt.
Yeah,
as
I
he
know.
was giving it like a 1.4.
Using inflammatory words.
Yeah.
You gave Reese's a 1 point something? That's
Right? It's insane.
It's all about context. We had tasted really good peanut butter candy. We had tasted really good chocolate. Reese's just didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not here to rehash.
We're
Fights.
trying to get past this.
Okay, so let me give my metaphor about Twix.
Okay.
I've been sitting on this for days.
Yeah.
So oh God, I've been rehearsing this for so
broke him.
long, and now when it's time to give my big metaphor, the metaphor I came up with, like if on a hockey team, so you have a line, your top line, and theoretically on your top line on a hockey team, you have your star players.
yeah.
Twix is
The goalie.
Twix is the guy they traded 3 seasons ago. Twix is, while I would say that it's up there with some of my favorite candies, but I would not put it on my first line. So it's like when you might have a player on your team who might be better than your quote unquote star player,
Yeah.
a better player, but you got to put the star player on the first line because that's people are paying to see the star player. You're marketing the star player. You can't put this guy who might be better on the first line. And that's kind of how I feel Twix is. It might be better than some of my favorite candies, but I would not rank it higher than some of my favorite candies. So I'm going to give it a 3.25 for Twix because I do think it's really good, but it's not a Reese's.
Oh my God.
Everything's a Reese's to
Yeah.
this guy.
This is, we'll never live that down.
It's also a different type of candy.
Yeah.
It's a unique thing, and that makes it more interesting than a lot of
It
stuff.
is very unique.
Yeah.
It tastes like a cousin to Snickers. Like they grew up together and they have
Yeah.
so much in common.
This is much better than a Snickers.
I think
to
it's
me.
much better than a Snickers. I love Snickers.
When I was growing up, Snickers were my sister's favorite,
Oh, yeah?
and Twix were my favorite. So it was
There's a real left Twix, right Twix
Yeah, it really
situation.
was.
So let's have your score from the Tyrant of Twix himself.
So I obviously have a really sentimental attachment to Twix, and I have a lot of like good childhood memories of eating so much.
You've been
Twix.
crying this whole time.
Yeah, eating so much Twix when I was 7 that I barfed. I love it though. I don't know. I think it's a delicious candy. I give it a 4.7.
Oh.
Originally, I was prepared to give it a 5 out of 5, and then I thought about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like 5 out of 5 is like fudge or like some
Whoa, wow.
like really good. I like chocolate a lot.
Yeah,
so
me
like
too.
something that like is a little more gourmet is like a 5 out of 5, like some artisanal shit.
That's what's held me back from giving 5s also. I feel the same way. Like it has to be something really special to be a 5.
Yeah.
So Greg gave a look bar a 5.
Because I think
Are you proud of that, Greg?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never heard of a look bar.
Exactly.
A little hard to find, but they're just like it's stretchy nougat.
Really got to look for
Well,
them.
they're not called here bars. Improv.
I think Twix are really, really good. They're just under that gourmet because I think they're very good for a candy you can just go out and buy pretty much anywhere. And I have a pretty sentimental attachment to it. I think if I didn't have a sentimental attachment to it based just on flavor alone, I would give a slightly warm left in the car Twix
Greg's Model T.
a 4 and a harder Twix a 3.5.
Okay, that's good.
That's fair. This is a fair assessment.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the problem with 5s are it's saying that it's perfect. And I don't know if that
It's
exists.
really hard, like a look bar.
Yeah, it's perfect in every way.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like I really need to feel like I couldn't even bring myself to give a Reese's because it's not perfect.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can, like we were talking about earlier.
You guys, we caught that, right?
Well, like we were talking about earlier, you can go to Trader Joe's and get like an elevated Reese's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not better.
But the thing about the Reese's is like I like the junkiness of it.
Yeah.
I like the bad chocolate. I like the bad peanut butter. So when I get sometimes like a nice gourmet
It feels good and bad.
peanut butter bite, it's sort of like this is all good, but I want the trash because I'm a trash boy. I live in the trash. I'm a raccoon.
I'll take that as a win for Reese's.
It's a 5 for raccoons.
Most things are. So it's like someone's arm they threw out at the hospital. Okay, so this is another sort of qualifier. We'll start with you, Greg. Would you be excited to get this on Halloween?
I would be, and I always am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good, it mixes well with all the other candies.
And you get a lot of them.
Yeah, you do. It's one of the stars of Halloween.
Yeah. What about you, Beto?
Oh, yeah. And at work, they like to leave a bowl of chocolate out. And I usually dig for either the Snickers or the Twix.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely be excited because it's almost as prevalent as Snickers, but like I said, it's so much more exciting than a Snickers is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That cookie, man.
A cookie. That dry ass cookie.
Did you ask him yet?
No, I'm not done. I'm looking at you, kid.
No, yeah, I'm similar as Beto. They have some chocolate at work, and if there's Twix, I'll go for that first, and then I'll like go for Reese's next, and then if there's none of those, I'll go for like a Snickers or something or a Kit Kat.
It's like I said, it's the second line on the hockey team.
Yeah.
And Smarties are like any day now. Someone's going to pick me. Any day.
Please.
Someone's going to pick Smarties.
I'm waiting for that first line. Okay, so now before our game, we have something called a pregame plug. You got it.
Yeah.
He's dancing. He's doing some sort of dance. He understands. He's got it. This guy gets it.
Lampshade on head.
So we're just gonna we ask everybody to do one thing before the game. This time I want more reviews of the show on Apple Podcasts. So if you go on your iPhone, open the podcast app, leave us a review, 5 stars of course, of Candiest Dandy. But in the review, we want your hottest candy take that we will read in an episode.
Oh,
Nadav,
that's
what is
good.
your hottest candy take?
Oh my gosh. My hottest candy take is that gummy bears are fucking bullshit.
Whoa!
I don't disagree.
Actually, just kidding. I like gummy
I
bears.
disagree.
Okay, my hottest take is that if you're not torturing the gummy bears by eating their limbs and then finishing them off by eating the heads, then you're not doing it right.
I like to make a whole gummy family watch while I do that. And Nadav, what do you have to plug for yourself?
I'm on an improv team called Tiny Recliner. We perform at the PAC every second Friday of the month.
This is in Los Angeles.
Please go see him.
At 8 p.m. Yeah.
Please go see Tiny Recliner.
Come see Tiny Recliner.
He'll do the Blair Witch.
I will.
Okay, so now it's game time. So now we play a game. So this is a brand new game yet again. This one I'm going to call Don't Auto Fill Up on Candy Before Dinner.
Oh my God.
I like it.
See?
We laughed at that one.
Yeah, that one elicited human laughter. So we have here 5
Real human laughter.
Finally, we have 5 candy-related words written by Melissa. These could be brand names of candy. These could be just candy terms. And then Melissa put them into Google, and we are going to try to guess what autofills in the search bar for
I like
these
it.
candy words.
okay.
That's fun. I guess it'll make more sense, but it's more than one word, right?
We have 5 different words.
Okay.
But yeah, so we will have to guess if, say, for example, you put in pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I assume pizza rat comes up first when you put that in.
Sure. The year is 2009.
Okay, so let's start with word 1. So we're going to guess what autofills when you put into Google Three Musketeers bar. Okay.
Three Musketeers bar based on book.
That's a real. I was thinking I'm gonna say Three Musketeers bar Dumas. That's the guy who wrote the book.
Oh, right. Three Musketeers bar.
It's kind of like a Gumar.
Sword.
Three Musketeers bar sword. Okay, what about you, Nadav? What do you think?
Three Musketeer bar opening hours, because someone might think it's like a bar called the Three Musketeers. Maybe.
I love the Three Musketeers bar.
I would go there.
I would go there.
You have to bring 2 friends. Wherever you go.
Only way in.
Okay, so let's see what the answer is. Calories. I guess
too logical.
If it was just
That
Three
makes
Musketeers,
sense.
I think it would have been the book.
Yeah,
but since it
yeah.
was bar. Okay, so our second word is Hershey's. I'm going to say Hershey's World, the theme park.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think it might. Sorry, are we going in an order?
I don't think. I don't know what the rules are here.
Yeah.
Go for
I
it.
was thinking it might be like Hershey taste different, because there's that whole thing about how Hershey tastes different than other chocolate around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. I was like Hershey's real chocolate ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, is Hershey's good for you?
How much Hershey's will I eat before I die?
Hershey's Three Musketeers. Okay, so the answer is menu.
Hershey's
Hershey's
menu?
Menu. That
Is
must
there a restaurant at the factory?
they must have something to do with the amusement park. They at the restaurant at the park menu
That doesn't
That
count
is
as
the
a
first
point.
thing that populates.
that populates.
As
It
a-
might be different. You might need to search in incognito mode because all of your porn.
Oh, the Hershey's porn you watch.
Hershey's mom. Okay.
Hershey's.
Step Hershey is stuck.
Okay. So our third word is starburst.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
I want to just.
Because you just Googled it. You know, I'm going to go way out on a limb and say starburst NASA because
Okay.
people are looking up like space stuff.
I'm going to say Starburst flavors because I think people are going to look up what flavors there
Right.
are.
I'm going to say Starburst, how so juicy? Question mark.
How's so juicy?
Starburst, how'd you get so juicy?
Starburst. Why?
Okay, so answer 3 is shot.
Oh,
Starburst
they must like
shot.
Starburst
I guess you
shot.
put
like
it in
with Jolly
alcohol.
Ranchers when you
Right.
dilute it
Oh,
in
shit.
vodka.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah,
Shot.
injection of,
Yeah.
of Hershey's.
I thought it was like a Starburst got shot.
Who killed Starburst? Who shot Starburst?
Was it the green M&M?
Before she herself went missing?
She had a good alibi, but her fingerprints were everywhere.
Okay, so our fourth word, Jelly Belly. Jelly Belly.
Pregnant?
Jelly belly symptoms.
Got a bad case of Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly, good pet name?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Jelly Belly Factory.
Okay. Jelly Belly flavors.
Jelly Belly flavors. That
I'm
might
gonna
be it. You say symptoms?
Yeah, Simpsons was
Simpsons or symptoms?
symptoms.
The symptoms. Factory. I got it.
No way.
I got it.
Oh yeah,
Is that the
because
last one?
No, we have one more.
Okay.
Jelly Bellies. Oh God, what was the one Reagan was obsessed with?
Jelly Bellies.
Jelly
Yeah,
Bellies.
'cause
Jelly Belly.
I used to work at the Reagan Museum
Oh,
in
nice.
Simi Valley, and
Hell
like
yeah.
they had like jars of Jelly Belly.
Whoa.
I think he like put it on the map, kind of
Yeah,
amongst
we-
Republicans.
In our amongst Republicans, it's a real Republican candy. In our Jelly Belly episode, we talked, and I'm glad we have the inside scoop
Yeah,
on the Reagan Museum.
Are they up for grabs or they're just like
I
decorative?
mean, they sell some bags
Oh,
of
okay.
Jelly Belly, but they have like decorative large jars
Oh, okay.
of it.
What party are you registered for?
Jelly
we
Belly.
need to know.
Who needs to know?
The green Jelly Belly.
Okay, so our final word, toffee. This is a tough one.
Coffee.
Toffee apple, maybe. I think might
That's
might
good.
make sense.
I'm going to say toffee gross.
Mine have all been questions, so I'm going to go away from the questions.
I'm going to say toffee recipes.
Toffee ingredients.
Yeah.
Toffee ingredients. Okay. Our final answer is recipe.
No way.
How does he do it? Is it some sort of
So
genius level activity?
you and I tied.
Yeah,
'cause we
tiebreaker
got
face
1
off.
point. Okay, you want to? Okay,
Yeah,
come up with the word and you
All right.
Google it.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that as a group, 2 out of 5 of these have been guessed.
That is pretty shocking for all the things that Google could come up with.
Give me a word. Give me a word.
Yeah, you come up with a candy word.
Oh, Snickers.
Don't do Snickers because I feel like I might know
all
Snickers.
right.
Okay.
Keeping it fair.
Fudge.
Oh, fudge.
You know what I'm going to do? How does fudge, and then you fill in the blank.
Okay.
Okay. How does fudge?
Well, that threw my idea way out already.
That makes me think it's how does fudge feel on skin?
How do we get fudge out of butt?
I am going to say, yeah, that reaction though. Oh man. I'm gonna based on your reaction, I'm gonna have to be gross and say, how does fudge get packed?
Okay, I like that's a good one.
How does fudge go bad? I got nothing.
How does fudge die?
What?
I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it.
Is fudge a character in something?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, little fudgy.
It's from the that update they did
Cornelius
for Clue.
Fudge.
Oh,
What happened to Cornelius Fudge?
Cornelius
does that
Fudge?
ring a bell?
Isn't
Oh,
that-
Hogwarts. Something with
Okay.
Wait, so how
that's
did he
right.
die?
Well, that tiebreaker went nowhere, so
Okay.
we both both won this one.
You know more Harry Potter than I do, so you probably would have won.
Oh, let's do an expecto patronum. And see. Mine is fudge.
What house are you in, left or right?
Okay, so that's our Twix episode. Nadav,
Thank you so much for joining
coming.
us.
thank you for having me.
Thanks for bringing your expertise on
of
on
course.
Twix. Happy Halloween,
Oh, that's
everybody.
right. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
You will be getting a bonus in a week.
Yeah.
but,
Enjoy that.
Enjoy Halloween.
And for all our Canadian listeners,
Halloween
apples.
Hey, man.
There we go.
Brought to Canada. All right.